Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Windward Buddhist Temple Family Service. My name is Miles Yamamoto, and I will be your MC for today. We begin with the ringing of the temple bell, or Kansho. This signifies the beginning of the temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is the calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma or teaching. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. Please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and in English. This can be found in the red Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 7.
Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda.
Please be seated. Today's sutra is Praises of the Buddha, which can be found in the red Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 112.
Your face shines in great splendor, boundless, wondrous dignity, such the greatness of your light, beyond all comparison. Brightness of the sun and moon, and the shining mani jewels, when compared to your brilliance, seem to us like blackest ink. Tathagata's countenance transcends all comparison. The great voice of awakening resounds through the 10 quarters. Your precepts, learning, effort, meditation, wisdom are virtues beyond all compare, ultimate, supreme, and rare. Your deep meditation has fathomed all the Dharma sea, to the limits and the depths of all things the Buddhas teach. Ignorance, anger, and greed, the world honored one has none. Like a lion among friends, measureless your great virtue. Vast are your great virtuous deeds, wisdom deep and so sublime. Your radiant, luminous light shakes all the world's foundations. When I become a Buddha, equal to the Dharma King, I will transcend birth and death, liberating all beings. My giving, disciplined mind, precepts, patience, and effort, meditation, and wisdom shall be supreme, unsurpassed. I will attain Buddhahood, everywhere fulfill my vow, bringing to all those in fear great and tranquility. Though there are myriad Buddhas, beyond measure, beyond count, and great sages numberless, like the grains of Kanji sand, I will honor each of them, equally accepting none. Even more importantly, I will seek the supreme way, even though all Buddha worlds are countless as Ganges sands, even though all lands and realms are boundless without measure, yet my light shall reach them all and illumine every place. Such shall be my perfect work, such my power infinite. When I attain Buddhahood, my land will be first and best, place of practice transcendent, its people sublime and rare, land equal to nirvana, beyond all comparison, with pity for everyone, I will carry all across, all who come from 10 quarters to be born into my land, to attain pure joyful mind, peace and great tranquility. Be my witness, Buddha, please confirm my sincerity. Now that I have made my vows, I will strive to fulfill them. Buddhas of the 10 quarters, with your wisdom unhindered, may all of these honored ones know my deepest intention, even though my body must bear great pain and suffering. I will persevere and strive patiently without regret. Namandabu, 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 Namandabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.
Please rise for the recitation, Golden Chain of Love, which can be found in the red Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 126. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that what I do now depends not only on my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in a Amida chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace.
Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.
Please continue to stand for the Gatha Namu Amida Butsu, which can be found in the brown Praises of the Buddha book on page 104. Please be seated. Our speaker today is none other than the man, the myth, and the legend, Dennis Tashiro.
Got me all nervous now. Got my little fancy tool here. Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My message today is about letting go, especially of things that can irritate us or frustrate us, in which can turn us to get grumpy and angry. I'll be reading a book today that will illustrate just what I described. This is a children's book titled The Sour Grape. I think Everly and Jet knows this book, so don't give secrets out. Okay, I'm not ambidextrous, so here we go. I'm a grape, a sour grape. Grrr. If somebody upsets me, I'll remember it. If somebody wrongs me, I won't forget it. If somebody insults me, I'll never ignore it. Nope. See that banana over there? That banana slipped and bumped into me. So I'm holding a grudge. See that orange? That orange didn't call me back for a week. Grudge. See that lime? That lime borrowed my scarf and never returned it. Grudge. I suppose I've got pretty thin skin for a grape. Nobody steps on this grape. Grrr. Granted, it wasn't always, I'm sorry. Granted, it wasn't always this way. I grew up in a close-knit bunch. There were about 3,000 of us in our little community. We were sweet to each other. One grape says, "You look nice today." And so the other grape says, "So do you." And then, "No, you do." We all lived on a vine. Sure, it was a bit claustrophobic, especially when we were trying to get ready in the morning. It looked like someone's using the bathroom, taking a long time. "Are you done there and there yet?" That sounds familiar in our house, especially when the kids are over. But my family was ripe with humor, goodwill, and warmth. We did our best with what we had. So the hungry grape says, "Are you going to finish that?" My grandparents visited on the weekends. Shh. We'd stroll in the sun, and they'd teach us what they knew. They said that it takes a bunch to raise a seed. They said that good grapes roll their own way in life. They told us to be kind, forgiving, considerate, and grateful. Or grateful, as my grandpa said with a wink. Above all, no matter what life throws at you, and there will be a lot, try to stay sweet, my grandma said. Indeed, we said in response. And for a while, I was the sweetest of sweet. I said please, I said thank you. I brushed aside life's little annoyances. I knew how good I had it. And so the apple squirts some mustard on the grape, and he replies, no problem at all. But then one day, something changed in me. It was my birthday. I had rigorously and vigorously planned a big party for weeks. I had sent out invitations with the date prominently displayed. Get this, I had a Ferris wheel, a magician, and hay rides. I had snacks upon snacks upon snacks. The highlight of the party, though, was a fireworks display which would happen at sundown. I stood out front and waited for folks to arrive. I had a gigantic smile on my face. I waited. Everybody was a little late, it seemed. No big deal, no big whoop. So I waited. A tumbleweed rolled by. A coyote howled in the distance. The sun sank behind the hills. And I waited. Nobody showed up, and I mean nobody. By the time the fireworks show started, with me as the sole spectator, I was scowling. I considered everybody I had invited, and only one thought came to mind. Grudge, 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 grudge. After that, my personality became something else entirely. I went from a sweet grape to a bitter grape to a snappy grape. Who moved my chair? Finally, I became a sour grape. Grrr. I started holding minor grudges that eventually became major grudges. Got into a little tangled mess there. I scowled so much that my face got all squishy. You know what? Don't even bother calling me back. I took my grumpiness out on others. Are you ever going to return my scarf? And that's just how it's been. Day after day, week after week, month after month, grudge after grudge. But something happened recently that changed my thinking. I was getting ready to meet up with my friend Lenny, the only fellow I knew who's as sour as I am. Lenny and I usually go to the park. We would sit on a bench and rant about stuff. But just as I was heading out the door, I bumped my knee. After I bandaged myself up, I discovered I had a flat tire. Then I missed the bus, and the next bus was late. Finally, I got off at the wrong stop. By the time I arrived at the park, it was getting dark. Lenny was fuming and furious, with a frown and a furrowed forehead. His face looks all squishy. We agreed to meet at exactly 4 o'clock. You're 3 hours late. I tried to explain why I was so tardy, but Lenny wouldn't listen. He had already made up his mind. He's formed a huge grudge, and he wouldn't budge. I couldn't believe it. How unfair, I thought. How ridiculous, I thought. How similar to the way I would react. Lenny was pretty worked up. He was pacing back and forth, emitting occasional grumbles. His tone was tart. So I gave him a little space. Besides, it was nice out. I noticed the sky changing colors, the melodic chirping of the birds, the evening breeze, the buzz of the park's insect coming alive at night. I suddenly felt grateful and peaceful and calm. Had I been missing all this had I been missing all this simple beauty because I was too busy complaining? Meanwhile, old Lenny stormed off, muttering something about disrespect, lack of consideration. I'm pretty sure I heard him add a grr too. I walked home. I pulled out a dusty box out from under my bed. There were old family photos inside. I spotted myself in one of the pictures. I was so sweet. I knew that little grape from the photo was still a big part of me, deep down. It would just take some work to get back there again. And that was the exact moment I found the invitation I had sent out for my infamous birthday party, the one where nobody showed up. It was May 31, but wait a minute here. My birthday was on May 21. Alas, I told everyone to come on the wrong day. Gulp. It was all my fault. I realized nobody's perfect, not even me. After that day, I started noticing other things too, like how remaining sour all the time is so draining. I had wasted so much energy holding grudges when I could have easily cleared the air if I had felt hurt. And yes, I still get upset from time to time, but that's okay. because now I talk and I listen and I work things out instead of just walking away. My sourness is fading. I'm letting go of all my grudges, and hey, it's working. So the grape meets up with the banana again, bringing 2 ice cream cones. Slip up happens. I'm just glad you're okay. And the banana replied, "Oh, thanks." And the grape meeting up with the lime. "That scarf looks sublime on you. Why don't you keep it?" "Really? You're the best." Then the grape catches up with the orange. "Orange, you glad you got to catch up." "I'm so grateful that we did." Sure, sometimes I still let out a little grr when I'm frustrated, like this, grr. But then I move on. My face is less squishy too. "Oh, don't worry, things are okay with Lenny again." Lenny rushes in. "Gosh, sorry I'm late. You must be furious." And the grape replies, "No big deal, my friend." He's reading Grape Expectations. You know what? If you look at things in the right sort of way, and if you remember to be kind, considerate, forgiving, and grateful, life really can be pretty sweet. Yes, indeed. The end. Oh, I didn't give credit to the authors, Jory, John, and Pete Oswald. Well, in the story, if you notice, the grape made several insightful statements. He realized nobody's perfect, not even me. Then he said, "I started noticing how remaining sour all the time is so draining. You get so tired from being so grumpy. I had wasted so much energy holding grudges when I could have easily cleared the air if I had felt hurt." Then he said, "I still get upset from time to time, but that's okay, because now I talk and I listen and I work things out instead of just walking away." Then he realizes, my sourness is fading. I'm letting go of all my grudges. If you look at things in the right sort of way, and you remember to be kind, considerate, forgiving, and grateful, life really can be sweet. Even as adults, don't you think these were very wise statements? Yes, nobody is perfect. Definitely not me. Yet, Amida Buddha accepts you and me just as we are. We use so much energy by being negative and angry about things. That was me this morning. I had planned to leave home early so I could get here early. But as I'm putting on my shoe, I stumbled and I bumped my toe. I said a few words. I don't want to quote it. Then as I'm heading out the door, I realized I forgot my nenju. So I had to take off my shoes, run back in the house, find my nenju. Okay, I'm saying to myself, I can still be early. So I get in the car, kind of zoom out of there. But on Kailua Bay Drive by Castle High School, there's traffic. And it's come to a crawl. By now I was getting angry. And I was worried I'd get to the temple late. My heart must have been racing. I got upset because we got here later than I had hoped. So we should really let go of our anger and instead use our energies to be kind, considerate, forgiving, and grateful of people and things around us. Letting go is the opposite of attachment or holding on to things, which is the cause of suffering, as conveyed. Oh, that's me being angry. Sorry, forgot that one. Doesn't that look like me? The Four Noble Truths. It's the essence of Buddha's teachings. The first truth states that there is suffering, or dukkha. The second truth states that suffering is caused by craving or attachment and ignorance. The third truth states that suffering ends when attachment and ignorance end. The fourth truth states that we can liberate ourselves by following the middle path, the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths is a guide for people to deal with suffering, which can be physical or mental. Sometimes desires are satisfied, but the satisfaction is only temporary. Let's not be consumed by worries of everyday living. It may only lead to more suffering. There are some things that we may want to hold on to, perhaps dearly, but we need to let go if it becomes a burden. Maintain a better attitude. Look for positives in everyday living and enjoy fellowship with others, relatives, friends, and even strangers. Live your life to the fullest. Seize the day. Carpe diem. In his book, Everyday Suchness, Gyomye Kubose writes, quote, "Life is changing. All things are changing. All conditions are changing. So let things go. All abuse, anger, criticism, let them come and let them go. Whatever we do, we should do sincerely, honestly, and with full strength. And when it is done, it is done. Do not become attached to it. Many people become attached to the past or the future and neglect the important present. We must live the best now with full responsibility. When the sun shines, enjoy it. When it rains, enjoy it. All things in life, let them come and let them go. This is a secret of life that keeps one from getting upset or being neurotic. The Buddha says that all things in life in the world are in constant change, so do not become attached to them." Unquote. So, let frustration and grudges come, then let them go. Let's not lose touch of the magic and beauty of life. Life isn't always cloudy and gloomy, but rather the weather is mostly sunny and the glass is half full. Pay more attention to today. Enjoy your family and friends. Have a meal together or do something together. Be absorbed in your beautiful surroundings. Maybe go to the beach. In closing, let me read from the book Moving Forward Just As You Are by Monshu Koju no Tani, the head priest of our Hongwanji sect. The Monshu writes, Shinran is said to have remarked in the Tanisho, "The mindset upon saying the Nembutsu arises within you. You are immediately brought to share in the benefit of being grasped by Amida, never to be abandoned. This means that when we want to say the name Namu Amida Butsu, we are already in the embrace of the salvific working, grasp, and never to be abandoned." Shinran's great-grandson, Kakunyo Shonin, referred to this as the assurance of birth settled here in this life. So being in the embrace of Amida Buddha does not simply mean that upon death we are welcomed into the Pure Land. More importantly, here and now in this life and in this world, do we awaken to Amida's embrace. Thank you very much for listening, and hope you enjoyed the story. Mahalo. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis, for that charming story and reminding us to try and be a little less sour grape and a little more sweet grape. Please rise for the Gatha with these hands, which can be found in the Brown Praises of the Buddha book on page 174, and continue to stand for the Nembutsu, which can be found in the red Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 135.
Buddha's compassion embraces all people, and his never lessening desire is for their happiness. He loves people as parents love their children, and he wishes for them the highest blessedness, namely that they might be able to pass beyond this ocean of life and death. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda.
Please be seated. That concludes our service for today. We turn it back over to Dennis for announcements.
Hi again. Thank you, Reverend Barbara, for leading our service today. Thank you, Miles, you're a good MC. We should have you up here more often. Thank you, Merle, for being a greeter. Thank you, Lisa, for playing the piano. Thank you, Jen, for bringing the Kansho. And of course, Brian, for recording this service. Our next service will be a regular family service. After refreshments, we'll be having bingo. Reverend Barbara will be leading the service and providing a Dharma message. We'll be visiting the Waimanalo Japanese Cemetery on Monday, June 10. If you are interested in joining us, please add your name to the sign-up sheet on the back table. A reminder, as I announced last week, there will be a viewing of a documentary film titled Carving the Divine on Friday, June 14 at Aiea Hongwanji Mission. The film reveals a 1400-year-old Buddhist woodcarving tradition and the struggles to preserve its legacy. More information can be found on our bulletin board. The meditation session this Thursday has been canceled by Reverend Bird, as he will be attending a state minister's seminar. There will be a seminar sponsored by Moilili Hongwanji and Project Dana entitled Community Trauma and Pathways to Healing on Saturday, June 8, from 9 o'clock to 10:30 at Moilili. Discussions will be about recent traumas and mental health issues arising in the news and the urgency to talk about it. Please see the flyer on the bulletin board for more information about the seminar and how to register. I believe it's going to be a hybrid seminar, so you could be there in person or via Zoom. There's no charge, however, donations are welcome. Now, for some words from Cynthia.
Good morning. I just wanted to remind everyone that we have an intergenerational craft after we eat. So I noticed there's only 3 children today, so adults are welcome, okay? So we'll be meeting in the back at the table. Another reminder, we've been receiving so many rummage sale items. Thank you very, very much. And just to remind you, we'll be collecting these items till the end of this month. And last, please join me up here if you have a birthday in June. All right, very good. Oh, well, let's see.
I will step in for Cynthia. Anybody else? You gonna take a picture now? Okay, happy birthday. All right, now Merle, if she remembers, yeah, she has a few announcements.
Okay, we are on the starting line for Abundance, which is the second week of July, second Saturday of July, July 13th. So we're starting to take sign-ups for the donations for the food booth, ingredients that we need. So I have a clipboard here, so you can sign up. And also, on the second or third page, we have a sign-up for people volunteering to help, to either work at the booth or to help on Saturday making musubi, or Friday for stringing the meat. So we have all these sign-up sheets here. And we'll be, every Sunday, coming out with the donation is. We've already had several people donate their items and bring their items. Anything perishable, we're going to say wait, and I'll tell you when to bring it. But non-perishable items, you can start bringing them. You can start looking at the Sunday sales alongs and start looking at your grocery sales, see what you can pick up. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we'll be announcing more details of the Bon Dance. Just generally speaking, the music stand or yagura will be set up the Saturday before. That'll be June 6th. Then the Wednesday before will be the practice night, I believe from 7 o'clock. Then Saturday morning, we decorate everything and all the food gets prepared and so on.
It's all in the newsletter. They should keep their newsletter.
Okay. Public service announcement, read your newsletters. Okay, any other announcements? If not, it's time for refreshments. Let's do the words of thanksgiving, which can be found on page 126 of the Red Service Book or on the screen. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namu Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you, everyone.